Yo. Welcome back to the channel. Formerly known as Nets Level, now I'm going to be known as BK Nets World. Basically, Nets World. It's been a couple of months since I've last uploaded. I'm sorry about that. Things came up. I had to do different things, but I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm back. And like I said, welcome back to the channel. It is the off season now. You know, a couple of things. Of course, we all know the Nets lost, got swept to the Sixers in the first round. Mikal still looked very nice. Mikal looked really good. We're still disappointed in Ben Simmons. And they finished under 500. So they finished 15 and 17 or something like that with the new group of guys. And again, I'm not too mad about it. I hear a lot of these people talking about the Nets finished under 500, you know, after they made those trades. Well, it takes a little while. Look at what Dallas did. They literally traded for one player, and they finished way under 500 where they missed the playoffs. The Nets at least stayed alive to where they still made the playoffs. Even look at Phoenix. Now, granted, Kevin Durant was injured, and he got injured again. But it's like they only made it to the second round, and they fired their coach. So I'm not too mad about this in particular. I'm not too mad about what they did this season. It just showed that, you know, we got people like Mikal, Cam Johnson, Cam Johnson's about to get paid this offseason. Of course, we still got Ben, but hey, what are you going to do? I mean, he could become better. Maybe he becomes 2018 Ben, 2019 Ben. That'd be very nice. But right now, he has no trade value. But in today's video, I'm really just going to want to talk about this offseason. More so, and specifically, talk about a lot of these Trailblazers that I've been hearing. Because the Trailblazers are probably going to be one of the biggest teams to do a lot of trades this offseason, whether it be their third pick, whether it be Dame Lillard. So I've brought up a few trades, specifically the Trailblazers. There's one other team in here. But right now, this is the Trailblazers. Basically, what I'm going to start doing is I hope to get back to my series where it's Road to a Championship. I would like to get to that, back to that. But I'm pretty much probably going to be uploading every other third day or something like that. I'm not really going to be uploading every other day or every day or anything like that. But I will start regularly uploading again. But this is the first one I wanted to start off with. Basically, this is like a part one of the off-season overview of what they could do with specific teams or whatever. Today's the Trailblazers. I have one for Houston Rockets as well, but it all depends with the Houston Rockets, but we'll get to that one at the end of the video. But with the Trailblazers trade, Nets versus Trailblazers, right now on the screen what you're looking at is a trade that Nets fans would definitely want to make. So Damian Lillard for Ben Simmons, Day'Ron Sharpe, Cam Thomas, and 2 first-round picks. And the 1 first-round pick is already number 21 for this season. This is more so of a trade that the Nets would want to make. And it makes sense because it's like we're giving up Ben Simmons, who has literally negative trade asset. We're just getting Dame back. It's not like we're getting Jusuf Nurkic or anything like that back. And all we're doing is giving up the 2 young guys who, let's be honest, it's like they still haven't shown anything. Maybe Cam Thomas in the future could do something. I'm really hoping. I mean, he's a bucket at the very minimum. But the thing is, it's like to me, it's like the Trailblazers would be, of course, giving up Dame and getting back Cam Thomas when they already have like an Anthony Simons and a Shaedon Sharpe, and possibly getting Scoot Henderson with the 3rd pick. Possibly. You know, if the Hornets are dumb, who knows? It's like they don't really need another bucket. But then it's like they get Ben Simmons, who is just a glorified defender at this point. Not even a glorified defender. He's just a defender. And sort of a passer. I don't know. I mean, with it, it's like I have a lot of trades down that would make sense. This trade just doesn't make sense for Portland. And I don't know why Portland would even consider doing this. Unless Portland's front office is like, hey, I'm sorry, Portland, or I'm sorry, Dame, but we weren't able to fit a team around you to actually make a real true championship run. We want to get you to the team that you want to go to. And if for some reason he chooses to go to the Nets with Mikal Bridges, and they decide, hey, yeah, let's not make a lot of trade. Let's just not, gut their roster. But it still doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. I mean, I'm a Nets fan, and I'm looking at this like, dang, Portland, don't do it. But here's the more so, truthfully honest with you, I don't think Portland fans really want Dame to get traded to the Nets. I'm gonna be honest with you. So, but if they did, this is more so of the haul that they would want to get. They don't want to see Ben Simmons on there. We have to take use of Nurkic. A sort of bad contract. Not as bad as Ben Simmons, of course, but it's still a decently bad contract. But in return, it's like they're gonna get Mikal, they're gonna get Nick, they're gonna get both Cams, they're gonna get Dorian Finney-Smith, and they're gonna get Royce O'Neal. Now, it doesn't make too much sense because these guys aren't really like the youngest of players. Nick's pretty young. Mikal's like 26, still under his prime. So is Cam. They're still under their prime, but it's like they're getting back Doe and Royce. Now, the thing is, they can retrade Doe and Royce and get some more first-round picks, but more so what the point is, they're going to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 picks out of this. So you guys get 2, 4, 6 players and 10 picks. 6 players and 10 first-round picks for Damian Lillard and Jusuf Nurkic. And I already know y'all would probably want to add another player on there, which, this is pretty much gutting the Nets roster for Dame Lillard. And again, this wouldn't make sense for the Nets. Okay? Portland, if the Nets offered Portland this, Portland would probably take it. Let's be honest. Like, you're getting back Mikal Bridges, Nick Claxton, Cam Johnson, and that's going to work with the Shaedon Sharps and the Anthony Simons of the world, because now you're adding defense to their young offense, which now maybe they can flourish on offense a little bit more like the Shaedon Sharp of the world. So this just wouldn't make sense. And then Dame going to a Nets team that at this point is going to have literally nobody. It doesn't make sense. It's going to be Dame and Ben versus the world, and Jusuf, of course, versus the world. So let's talk about trades that, of course, maybe would make a little bit more sense. Now, of course, I'm a biased Nets fan through and through, so Portland fans are probably going to hate it no matter what I'm going to come up with. But hey, this is a Nets channel at the end of the day, so let me talk about it. Even just trying to make it as fair as possible at the same time is probably not going to be fair. So let's talk about this first trade. So again, they're going to get a lot of picks. Now, it's not as much picks because some of these are second-round picks. You got 3 seconds on here, and then you're getting 6 first-round picks, which one is Phoenix's this year. But then you're getting Royce O'Neal, you're getting Ben Simmons, you're getting Cam Johnson, Day'Ron Sharpe, and Cam Thomas. So you're still getting the Day'Ron Sharpes and the Cam Thomas. Now, in this case, Ben Simmons and Jusuf Nurkic are being traded. So Ben Simmons' worst contract, we'll net you a first or second round pick, and you give us back Jusuf Nurkic, basically. That should be fair enough. And then if you just say Dame Lillard is getting traded for Royce, Cam Johnson, Day'Ron Sharpe, Cam Thomas, and 4 first round picks and 3 second round picks. Again, this could just be from the Nets side of things, me just, wanting to say this is more fair, because to be truthfully honest with you, what Portland might be looking for is, hey, give us back Nick Claxton. And here's one with Nick Claxton in it. So in this case, you're not going to get Ben Simmons, you're going to get Joe Harris. So it's another bad contract, but in this case, it's Joe Harris's 1-year bad contract for Jusuf Nurkic's 3-year bad contract. Now, Jusuf Nurkic is only making about $17 million a year, so about how bad could it really be? I mean, it's not terrible, but it's still not the greatest of contracts. So the way I'm looking at it is you're swapping these 2 bad contracts. Again, Joe's on his last year of his deal, so even though he's making $20 million and that's a terrible contract, by the time that the season ends, it's done. Y'all don't have to worry about Joe no more. But y'all are getting Nick Claxton back. So you're getting a Nick, you're getting a Dorian Finney-Smith, and you're getting a shooter to fit around, said young players, like a Shaedon Sharpe. If a Shaedon Sharpe wants to pull up some of his playmaking chops. Or Anthony Simons, if he's going to really become a playmaker. You got Joe Harris, you got Dorian Finney-Smith, you got a lob threat in Nick Claxton. Then you're going to have Cam Thomas and Day'Ron Sharpe. But now with this one, you're not going to get as much first-round picks. You're going to get 4 first-round picks. So where this one, it's like it's more so filling with picks because Ben Simmons' bad contract and Cam Johnson. Now, I'm not going to say if Cam Johnson's a better player than Nick Claxton or Nick Claxton's better than Cam Johnson, but Nick Claxton is younger, and Nick Claxton is a center that a lot of teams are coveting right now. So that's why in this trade, since you're getting such a worse contract, you're getting more picks. And since you're getting a slightly older player, you're getting more picks. This one, less picks, better player, or not really better player, but younger player. Not as bad of a worse contract. Basically is the way I'm looking at it for this. Now, let's say the Nets want to not trade for Dame. Let's say they've pulled every try to pry Dame or pry Jaylen Brown or try to get these players to fit with Mikal Bridges, but they keep asking for Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. And it's like, it's not working. They're not budging on their asking price for these big stars. And you know what? These teams have a right to do that. That's their big star that they want. So let's say that, Portland's truthfully asking for Nick Claxton, Mikal Bridges, basically this trade. They're asking for all of them. The Nets don't want to do that. The Nets are going to say, hell no. Hell to the no. So let's say now they just decide to flip it around, and now they're going to ask Portland for number 3, even though they already said that they're not interested in Anthony and number 3 for Mikal Bridges. But, alright. I guess that works too. But let's say this is more so now the trade. You're going to get Mikal, you're going to get Nick Claxton, you're going to get Cam Johnson, you're going to get Dorian Finney-Smith. You are getting a lot of players to fit around Dame. This makes Portland a lot deeper because at the end of the day, the Nets are getting Jusuf Nurkic back, so a bad contract. But we're going to need a big, so at this point, Jusuf Nurkic is going to work. Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, Cam Reddish, number 3, number 23, and 2 later first-round picks to add to the collection. So which would allow the Nets at this point, they would have number 3, they would have number 23. Well, okay. Sorry, they'd have number 3, number 21, number 22, and number 23 in the draft if they made this trade. Me personally, I don't really like this trade too much. If anything, let's keep Cam Johnson, at least, and they can get Mikal, Nick, and Dorian for this. But that's if they really want to restart. And maybe later on it's like, hey, yeah, we could trade Royce for a first-round pick or some seconds or whatever the case may be. Now this trade I'm not too fond of because, yeah, for Mikal Bridges, who's starting to show out, it's like I would expect more of like, just for Mikal, more of the Anthony Simons, number 3, maybe like number 23. But again, this is a biased Nets fan talking. This is a biased Nets fan, but this is the Nets channel. So again, I'm not in love with this trade, but if this is a trade that they pulled off, I'm not going to be too mad because at the end of the day, it's like we're either going to get Scoot or Brandon Miller. We're going to get a young player to fit around. Now, in this case, we're going to still have Ben Simmons and Cam Thomas. So I guess Cam Thomas will definitely be a player, but it's like all these first-round picks with later first-round picks and all the first-round picks later on. It's like the Nets can try to fill something out, still have some picks, and they're pretty much looking at like the Oklahoma City Thunder time, where they have all these first-round picks later on in the future, and you have Shaedon Sharpe and Anthony Simons that you're sort of building around. Now, Anthony Simons, I don't think will ever get as good as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but it's like you're still getting like the Anthony Simons, the Shaedon Sharpe of the world with some picks, and it's looking like an okay roster. But the problem is, let's say the Hornets do pick Brandon Miller. Well, in this case, the Nets are going to get Scoot, and I guess what's going to happen is Scoot's going to be the point guard, Anthony Simons or Shaedon Sharpe is going to be the shooting guard, and then who's going to come off the bench? And then again, we still have Cam Thomas. So that's why I'm not liking it, because it's just full of guards. It's just full of guards. That's why I'm not really liking this trade too much. But Portland doesn't really have a lot of first-round picks to trade. So it is what it is. But let's say the Nets want to go again with this, more so trade the good players that they have for basically future assets or, younger players, whatever that may be. But let's say they just go with the Houston Rockets, where they trade Mikal Bridges, they trade Nick Claxton. Houston has a bunch of more first-round picks, including the Brooklyn first-round picks. So, but in this case, to me, what this would mean is they got James Harden. They got James Harden, but they don't want just young players to fit around James Harden. They're going to want other players to fit around James Harden. So in this case, they kept Jalen Green. I didn't even put Jalen Green on this trade, which is fine. But it's like for Torrey Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun, and Josh Christopher, it's like, and 3 first-round picks. I'd probably add maybe 2 more first-round picks from the Rocket side for Mikal and Nick Claxton. Let's be honest. So let's close out of this. Let's go back to the Rockets picks. And to be honest, it's like, what's stopping them from giving us 4? Honestly, at least I would ask for number 4. Why keep number 4? So now, because you have James Harden, Mikal Bridges, Nick Claxton, you still have Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., you have Dorian Finney-Smith to help out defensively too. 3 defenders to go on the team to help Jalen Green and James Harden out if y'all get James Harden. So give us number 4 at least. Shoot. At the very minimum. But it's like, I like this trade right here just because it's like Brooklyn could get their picks back and then they can actually rebuild in peace. They don't have to rebuild thinking, oh, we don't have our first, so there's no point of actually tanking. So if they want to actually lose in a season because maybe there's a player that they're looking to get in the draft, they can because they got their picks back. And now they're loaded with picks. Because not only do they have their picks, but they have they have the Suns picks, they have a Dallas pick, and they have a Philly pick. But they have their picks back as well. So that's the most important part to it. So, I mean, these are some of the questions that is going to be made this offseason. And honestly, I see a lot of Nets fans that are like, oh, y'all should fire Sean Marks. You should fire Jacque Vaughn. You know, y'all should have went for the Monty Williams, the Nick Nurses, the whatever of the world. Any of these championship coaches that just got fired. And it's like, Jacque Vaughn went 18-2 with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I'm willing to give Jacque Vaughn, but just because Jacque Vaughn's not a name that y'all like, it's like Jacque Vaughn is still a decent coach in this case. But you think that every coach would have brought this? It's like any good coach would have brought this team to, over 500 for the second half of the season, and then beat the Sixers, who had a way better team on paper. Now, granted, I wish they would have won one game, a game where James Harden or Joel Embiid couldn't play. James Harden got thrown out the game. It's like, yeah, we should have won one of those games, but we didn't at the end of the day. And it is what it is. It is what it is. Here we are now. But the fact that y'all just want these high-named coaches for a team that's not even competing for a championship, what's the point? Yeah, okay. So the Pistons just signed Monty Williams, but to basically a $100 million contract. It's like, sure, there's good coaches that could go on teams like non-contending teams, but at the end of the day, it's like Jacque Vaughn went 18-2 with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Y'all, and it's like y'all are the same Nets fans, honestly, that we're talking about how how this team could have won a championship this year if Kyrie Irving didn't request a trade, and y'all throw shade at him, but then it's like y'all really weren't feeling comfortable with Steve Nash, but now Jacque Vaughn was. But now you're saying that we could have won the championship with them, but with Jacque Vaughn. But now it's like, nah, get rid of Jacque Vaughn because y'all hear a name. I don't know. I think that we can trust Sean Marks with his drafting. He drafted Nick Claxton in the second round, right? He drafted Karis LeVert and Jared Allen late in the first round. These are players that he drafted late in the first round. They have an eye for talent there. So this is where Sean Marks is more going to shine. Picking up the players, it's like that didn't work. Picking up Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, it didn't work for them. But this is where I can see Sean Marks shining. And right now, to me, until otherwise, it's in Sean Marks we trust. So that was about it. This is the quick, not really a quick video, but the video I want to put out about basically Portland and then Houston, because I do like us possibly getting our first round picks back, which would be nice. But it is what it is if we don't. So again, this is Nets World. I'm sorry that I'm just coming back after a 2-month hiatus, but I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm back and I'm better than ever. So I will see y'all in the next video. I don't know if it's going to be the road to a championship or more off-season talk, but off-season talk is what I really like to do. But I do like to also show simulations of what could be done. So I'm going to be mixing it in between the two. But until next time, I will talk to y'all later. Peace out.